Satya Dharma Reflection on May 3rd, 2022. By itself. That is not about anything within itself. Otherwise, it's gonna be always just oneself, always involvement within oneself, always significance and meanings within oneself. These attributes of significance and meanings and involvements, how can one dissolve it? Suchness that is not the suchness. Itself is not itself. Nothing is within itself. With this, it will unwind from the mind, from the disregarding. Unwinding that discards itself absolutely. Then there will be no boundaries. Purify throughout, inside and outside, towards all things, all karma and all karmic difficulties. That there are the overlaying of the delusive attachments. There are the overlaying of the delusion will be dissolved and purified without traces. Retreat from the mind absolutely. Don't be obsessed to give significance to the mind on and on. Don't be obsessed with the mind. Retreat from disregarding absolutely. That which is not about anything within disregarding. Go ahead. Nothing is within itself. That which is not the mind or disregarding. Let's proceed as such altogether. Then it will be automatic, which is not about anything within itself. Simultaneously and all the same, sharing the essence so that it will be evenly blessed throughout the whole samsara. This will purify the seeds of the extinction or ending that is taking into oneself. Therefore, it's not truly ending. This is because samsara not yet ending. Let there be even. Share the essence altogether throughout the whole samsara. The disregard that is not about anything within itself. Let's share this essence all the same with everything. By itself, that is not about anything within itself. share this essence simultaneously, all the same with everything, then it will be truly ending. The true ending means that samsara also ends. Personal ending is not truly ending. Because samsara is not yet ending, therefore it's not really truly ending. True ending, it has to be ending simultaneously, altogether, throughout the whole samsara and oneself. The disregard that is not about anything within itself to be shared all the same. Don't be obsessed to be disregarding with something on and on. Nothing is within disregarding. Disregarding is not about anything within itself. Don't be attempting to disregard with anything. Otherwise, it will not really releasing from itself, from disregarding itself. It will not be unwinding, discarding the unwinding itself. Nothing is within the disregarding. In this way, it will unwind from the unwinding itself. The unwinding will not take in itself. Don't be obsessed to try to unwind or release from something. The unwinding doesn't take in itself. Nothing is within the disregarding itself. It will not be about suffering or happiness at all. Otherwise, it's going to be the remaining of mind that gives significance and meanings, still realm of existence, still arising and ceasing, being obsessed to give meanings and significance and involvement on and on. Therefore, let's purify all realms of existence altogether, dissolve it altogether, all the arising and ceasing inside and outside. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, all the same throughout the whole samsara, for everything. The disregard is not about anything within itself to be shared as such, all the same evenly to everything. The unwinding is not about anything within itself. The attribute of the delusive attachment that discreetly clinging to the mind, Dharma, in this way and that way will be dissolved. Being obsessed to preserve realms of existence on and on, attempting to cling This is being realm of existence. Any clinging to any emotions, any state of mind, any state of Dharma is become realm of existence within the mind. Any maintaining, it become realms within such maintaining. Whether maintaining the mind or any type of Dharma in whatever ways, this is maintaining the assumed up things. The maintaining itself is the assumed up as well. Maintaining any assumed up, it becomes realm of existence. Whatever that is discreetly clinging within, let's purify it inside and outside. Let's purify it evenly, all the same. The disregard is not about anything within itself. By itself, that is not about anything within itself. All that regret to dwell within states of mind, any state of Dharma, such regret will end such a samuttai. It will end being samuttai altogether, being the causes of suffering and the suffering. Significance and meanings and involvement is still samuttai within itself. The uninvolved is not about anything within itself instantly. Then it will be truly uninvolved. This is not being deludedly uninvolved with this and that here and there. Being obsessed to uninvolved for what? Uninvolved is not about anything within itself instantly. It's not about anything within the uninvolved itself. Then it will be truly uninvolved. Don't be obsessed with having personhood in uninvolvement. Don't be obsessed to attempt to uninvolve. That is the involvement within the uninvolvement itself. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. It's not about anything within the uninvolvement, then it will be truly uninvolved. Nothing is within the uninvolved itself. Don't be obsessed to attempt to uninvolve on and on. Nothing is within the disregarding itself. Don't be obsessed to try to uninvolve, to disregard. The disregard doesn't disregard itself. Why being obsessed with that? Attempting to disregard. Why being obsessed to disregard something on and on, giving significance and meanings to the disregarding on and on. Nothing is within the disregarding itself. The disregard is not about anything within itself. Don't be obsessed to disregard, giving meanings and significance to it on and on. Let there be evenly all the same for the internal and the external. Let's end as helping all together, internally and externally. This is not just ending for oneself. Samsara is not yet ending. Then it will not be truly ending. True ending is simultaneously ending throughout the whole samsara. Therefore, share the essence all the same. This is not ending for the sake of ending, to take in the ending, to grab the ending. It's not as such. This is not about grasping. Share the essence all the same. The essence of disregarding that is not about anything within yourself, share it all towards all things and all elements simultaneously. All things, all elements, samsara, visible or invisible, share it all the same. Nothing in the disregarding, share it all the same simultaneously. Otherwise, the habits that is for the sake of oneself is still obstructing the blessing. That's why there is the traditional values about solitude, always for the sake of oneself. Why not solitude from the solitude itself? Always searching for somewhere to be in solitude. Why not solitude from the solitude itself? This is the habit of the karmic difficulties. Karmic difficulties of the grasping mind. share the essence simultaneously, all the same. That which is not disregarding, uninvolved with the disregarding, share it simultaneously, all the same, for the visible and invisible, all things and all elements, evenly shared, without distinguishment. Everything will be purified by Nibbana as it is, evenly, all the same. This is not about someone who is Nibbana or having specific Nibbana for certain people, or not about emptiness for the sake of someone. No one owns it. The emptiness is not the emptiness itself. How can it be owned by someone? Nibbana is not even Nibbana itself. How can Nibbana be owned by someone? So don't think of grasping Nibbana, purify the thought itself. The thought of grasping, purified it. The disregarding is not about anything within itself, so that it will purify the personhood within disregarding or not disregarding. Let it be in the way of purification. Share the essence all the same in the way of purification. It's not about something within being the same. It's not as such. All the same, that is not about anything in being the same. No, it's not about anything within itself. Share it evenly, all the same. Nothing is in no itself. Share it all the same to everything. Nothing is within no itself. Share it simultaneously throughout all things and all elements. Otherwise, one will just sitting, being stuck with suffering and happiness, being addictive to being comfortable, on and on. This is the delusion within one's own sake. Let's dissolve it. No, it's not about anything within itself. Uninvolved is not about anything within itself. The disregard is not about anything within itself either. Then it will purify the specificity for the sake of oneself, suffering, happiness, comfortable. This is the habit of delusive attachment which creates samsara, creating realm of existence, which is the samsara itself actually. Let's purify it. Being obsessed to give significant meanings and involvements. This is the habit of being specific for the sake of oneself. Let's purify it. No is not no itself. That is already purifying the delusion to be specific. Being deluded to specificity for the body or the mind, for certain things. That is the habit of specificity. This is being for the sake of oneself, for the sake of attachment. That is samsara of habit. Habits of samsara. No is not even no itself. Disregard is not the disregard itself. then there is no discretion for the sake of oneself, for the sake of the extinction itself, for ending itself. Disregard is not about anything within itself, evenly shared simultaneously all the same, then it will purify it all the same throughout. This is not to be specific within or without. It will be even in the way that is purifying through the emptiness, in the way without having anything to do with in or without, is evenly shared. Don't be obsessed with disregarding, nothing is within there. Otherwise, it will be stuck with just being solitude within the body and the mind, the solitude that is not solitude from itself. Nothing is within the solitude itself. That is truly solitude from the solitude itself. Then there is no need to deludedly thinking further. What is it about solitude from the solitude itself? Let's go ahead with it. Nothing is within the solitude itself. Then it will not be deluded to having to be in silence from the body or the mind. That is delusional. It's anatta. Nothing is within anything. So don't be obsessed with anything. What is there within silence? There is just the desire entity that is deceiving. That is the knowledge and meanings, opinions that deceive oneself. The disregard is not anything within itself. It will purify the delusion in the solitude or not, silence or not. It will purify the delusion within peace or not peaceful. Don't be obsessed to disregard on and on. Nothing is within disregarding instantly. This will purify the delusion within the attachment or detachment. The personhood within there will be purified. Nothing is within the disregarding itself instantly. This will purify the delusion to be someone who is attached or detached. Nothing is within the disregarding itself instantly. There is no need to regret the dwelling within the mind. There is no need to preserve realm of existence, stillness or indifference or equanimity. It's all about realm of existence. There is no need to preserve it. Then one will not be attached to comfort, equanimity, or mindfulness or concentration, contemplation, insights. Then one will not be obsessed to practice the attempt to be attached. It will end the practice of attachment. The disregard is not itself. By itself is not about anything within itself. Nothing is within itself. All the same with everything. Don't be obsessed with just fabricating the tithi insights, looking, seeing or knowing. Don't be obsessed with knowing or not knowing, seeing or not seeing, on and on. Don't be obsessed with just arising or ceasing, within seeing or not seeing, knowing or not knowing, circling with it, on and on. Don't be obsessed with integrating the anicca and anatta. That which is not the disregarding itself, uninvolved with the disregard itself. Nothing is within the disregard itself. All the same. This will be the purification of the extinction and the emptiness, all the same, ending internally and externally to be shared as helping throughout.